job?
Not for Publix. Publix promotes within, and they have a training facility on Delk Road, and Miami has one. Everybody has one. You get a lot of in-store training, and you get a lot of formal training at corporate headquarters of each division.
So that also covers your interning question you had.
What was your question?
Well, it was my question, but I gave it to you.
You're supposed to butt in.
Sorry.
What is it like to work in a bakery?
What is it like? It's fun. As far as the associates, from their standpoint, I think they think it's fun. When I was an associate, I thought it was fun. But management, it's not fun. I mean, I like it, but it's hectic. We start at 4 a.m. Some mornings we start at 2 a.m. Some mornings we start at midnight. Holidays we do a lot of overnights. So it's kind of weird to drive in at 11:30, bake, and do a regular days. Work so early.
Wow.
But it's fun. It's kind of cool to take like those bag of flour over there. You take those, and then you get the bread that's on the shelf. So you take it from point A to point D, and there's all these steps in between, and then somebody buys it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I actually think that'd be pretty awesome. I love the bake.
The way we look at it is you're spending, it's something you take the time to make, and then a customer is going to take the money they earn to buy. And that's cool, especially if you do something more than just like our muffins. They come in, we don't make those anymore. But when you make something like an alligator bread, so it's kind of artsy,
Yeah.
somebody pays $20 for it. It's pretty cool.
Alligator bread, I've never heard of that.
You just take a loaf of dough and we form it, and it looks like an alligator after we bake it.
That's cool.
Turtles.
Is this type of work hard, like physically and mentally?
Yes. Very.
So I assume it's very hectic.
It can be. When you're here first thing in the morning, not so much, but when you're trying to juggle an oven going off and trying to get orders together, we got to manage, like I said, payroll, trying to make sure everybody gets paid, everybody's benefits are working out, everybody's customers are happy. Sanitation, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's not just throwing something in the oven and throwing it on. There's not little leprechauns that come and do it for you. Somebody actually has to know what they're doing. There's a process. So managing the quality and getting it to the floor can be hectic, yes. And it's both mentally and physically hard because there's a lot of paperwork even the associates have to deal with as far as managing inventory on the floor, how much they got to produce for the day. So it's not just you come in and you do whatever you want to do. There's a process. There's a lot of computer work even for associates that they got to deal with, and just to make sure you're making the right amount of stuff to get you through a day. So yes, but it's more physical than mental for associates. But for managers, it's physical and mental.
Thank you very much. Do you enjoy this type of work?
Yes. I don't think I'd ever get out of the food industry. I don't know what else I would do. Even if I work for a competitor or, I mean, I've done it, I'm 32, so I've done this since I was 17. So that's a long time, so I didn't go to school for anything else. Everything I've learned, Publix taught me everything I know about business. And they teach us probably as much as a college does when it comes to business. Most people here could probably quit Publix and if they could just focus on school, breeze through it, I think. Especially managers.
Awesome.
But I never went to college. But I would have.
Would you say cake decorating is easy work?
No, because I'm a horrible cake decorator. And I've done that. That's why I have people I pay to do it. Is it easy? It's not physically hard, but it's tedious. It's very tedious, and customers can make it even more tedious than what it needs to be.
Would you say you needed to be artistically inclined?
Yes, and I'm not. But I can look at a cake and tell someone they're doing it wrong. And I can do it if I have to do it. But I have a decorator, her name's Erica, and I have a decorator, Shaheen. They're artsy, they're crafty. And I'm just not, how can I get the most work done in the least amount of time and make it quality? We're there about the quality and the details. It's very detailed. You have to be very detail minded. Some decorators aren't, and they're horrible decorators, which is why I'm up here.
So when you were an associate, what did you do since you didn't do the decorating? Did you just like pop the cakes in and out?
Well, things have changed a lot since, in 15, 16 years. 'Cause now we have a cake program where a facility makes our cakes. We don't have to drop the cakes out anymore. Where years ago, I would come in, and that's when you were the new guy, you drop cake, and that's all you did. Somebody mixed a big thing of cake and moved it over there, and you dropped it out to the pan, and then you handed it off to someone else to bake, and that's all you did was this. You used your hand. There wasn't a scoop or anything. You dropped it, and you hand it to a baker. They bake it, and then when you were done, you thought you could breathe, you turn around, and there would be more cake batter coming at you. And that's how we made all the different types of cakes. Whereas now, the cakes come in frozen. We have a company that makes our own. A lot of companies contribute to Publix, where years ago we would make everything from scratch, and we still do a lot from scratch.
Yeah.
But
Do they still use your same recipe?
they use the same recipe that Publix has used. The bakeries use for almost 60 years.
Okay.
And if you ever try Publix cake, have you ever tried it?
Oh, yeah.
That's all we eat.
Okay, if you try it, go to a private bakery and try one of their cakes that they're going to pay. You're going to pay $30 for it. You get something similar to it from Publix for $12, and they're horrible. They're dry, and they're just not what they're cracked up to be. And so Publix is definitely a leader in the industry because of their quality, their concerns for their quality.
Like I said, that's all we have ever used for birthdays, everything. We have never used anybody else. But one time, and that was Kroger, and that was the nastiest cake we ever had.
We used to, years ago, we don't do this anymore because everybody's too happy, but we used to have a Kroger cake and a Publix cake, and we would leave them out on demo, and we would tell customers our cakes would start looking rough after a few days because there's not all the preservatives. And
right.
Kroger cake, it's like a Twinkie.
Mm-hmm.
It's one layer, horrible. And we would sample Kroger cakes and Publix cakes. We'd go buy them from Kroger and sample them, and we sold more cakes doing that. And we quit doing it because we were going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But years ago, that's what we did. But you just can't beat Publix.
Can't.
Quality.
I'll testify on that one.
Even if I lost my job tomorrow, I would still buy Publix cakes. Key lime pie is the same thing. It's a recipe that people will drive. They used to drive from Tennessee, the Carolinas, to Florida to get Publix key lime pies.
I'll testify that one too.
It's hard to find
I love the key lime
pie that uses Publix. And I would say that even if I didn't.
What would you suggest to somebody who wants to get into this type of business, i.e. me or
No.
What do you mean? When you say business, you mean like being a pastry chef? Then you tell me she wanted to be a pastry chef. Pastry chef or
owning like a bakery sort of thing?
To own a bakery, I've hired people that I had this one guy, his name was Dell, when I worked up in Canton. And do you know where my bakery is on 92? It's over there by the Waffle House, and
I've gotten a cake from there before.
okay, well Dell used to own that.
Really?
Dell worked for Publix. Well, he retired finally, but he came to work for Publix after working there because it's very hard to run your own private bakery. There's a lot that do it, and you just have to balance. I said it's like running a business here, but I don't have the stress of Publix going under. And if my bakery doesn't do good, the bakery's still going to be here. So if I were going to do something in this business, I would work for Publix. And that's just but I'm not a risk taker. So Dell, I mean, he made a lot of money, but it was hard work. And he's not the only. He's just the one I was closest to that I knew. I hired him after he sold the bakery, but he made a lot of money, but it was real hard. It was very taxing and stressful. Where I don't have that, I just have corporate breathing down my neck. We're not meeting sales goals and stuff like that. So if I were going to see, I'm in a different situation because I didn't go to school, but I would have gone to school. I would tell my kids to go to school before doing something like this because you have that to fall back on. But what was your question?
Would you recommend her to go to college and get a business degree along with culinary school?
I would, and Stephen, I have a buddy named Stephen. Stephen went to culinary school, and Stephen, he went and he finished. He was a clerk for me. He just closed, and then he came to work for me, and he was like, I'm never going to go into management. I'm never going to do this. I'm going to own my own business. And he didn't do that. He ended up becoming a manager. He became an assistant, and he ended up retiring from Publix. And then he works for Whole Foods now, and he's using what he learned in culinary school, but it was the same thing that Whole Foods would have taught him off the street. So it's one of those things. People do it. I mean, I know a lot of successful caterers. I knew one when I worked at Rose Creek. He did awesome, but it's real competitive. So I would have something to fall back on, definitely. And the business isn't, to make money, you're either going to have to work at a grocery chain like this, or you're going to have to start your own business, and that background would not hurt to have, running your own business, having that business background. It's not going to hurt. It's going to take longer to get and obtain, but once you have it forever.
So if she were to have a business background and have culinary school underneath her, if she were to apply here, would she be a better prospect than somebody just walking off the street and saying, hey, I want to start from bottom to go up?
Not necessarily, because you're basically, well, if you and I were competing for the same job, I would have the same advantages. You're probably at more of a disadvantage. I mean, honestly, I had a guy that I just interviewed, and he brought it in this portfolio and showed me, and I was like, put it away. That's meaningless to me, because he worked at Panera Bread. Panera Bread's going to do something one way, Publix is going to do it another way. So anywhere you go, that chain's going to teach you for the most part. Now, you need the culinary if you're going to do your own business, because you got to have something that nobody else has. You got to have something that Publix doesn't offer, or something you've concocted or come up with. And if you're just doing the same thing everybody else is doing, are you artsy?
Yes.
Yeah, are you?
Yes, she is.
Okay, then, like I'm not. I had to have the safety net of a multi-billion-dollar company to. I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about my associates getting paid. If you own your own business, you do. My people are going to get paid anyway because Publix backs me. So I don't really need the business. But like I said, Publix teaches us what we need to know. And we get a P&L every week, like most businesses get a P&L once a year. We get them every week. So every week we decipher and we go through all this information to see how well we're doing. So would you have an advantage at Publix? No. Kroger? No. But on the flip side, in a private bakery, or yes. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes perfect sense. Well, sorry, it's your interview.
Keep interjecting.
Well, you know, mommies do that. Ask Heather.
She does. For me too, and I'm not kidding.
Anything else?
None that I've written down. I have another one off the top of my head. If I would like to learn decorating, like here for a senior project, what exactly would I have to do?
To learn, or for me to just say, hey, Eric, go show how to make one cake. To do one cake?
She wants to learn how to do the flowers?
like molding the flowers, maybe piping. I'm a really fast learner. My mom could back me up on that. I just really like to decorate. Oh, I like to make cakes and everything. I just can't decorate.
She doesn't know how to do the flowering and the, you know, how to scrape it off the thing without it falling totally apart. And
Well, I could show you, but I'm not going to. If that's the case, then, I mean, I can show you how to do the flour. As far as making a cake, I would talk to Teresa. She's my store manager. I don't think she would have a problem with you. We'd have to set something. I can't have you out there in front of customers, but I can put a table back here and maybe have Erica come back here and show you. You either can or you can't make them. And mine look, my flowers look like cabbages, and you want to learn to make roses, not cabbages. So,
right, yeah.
she could show you, and then you would just practice, and then she would critique you. And then, as far as learning how to do a rose, to ice a cake, I mean, the best way to learn to ice a cake is just to do 100 of them and screw up. But if you're just doing it for a fast project where here's my cake, it started out as this and I went to that, you would just tell me and we would sneak you back here and let you make one. I'll let you do one on my desk if I have to. But we have a turntable then, I'll let you use our stuff. And I'll just charge you for the price of the cake.
Okay. Now, we saw some cakes out there that have like really pretty flowers, but I guess that just takes more advancement, more practice, more, I guess it was like mums
or daisies?
What was that? Like cherry blossoms, looked like kind of cherry blossoms on a wedding cake. And, you know, she thought that was very pretty with the stem, you know, it's just very elegant and and she's wanting to learn kind of like those kind of tricks and stuff like that too.
I mean, that stuff, I mean, the wedding cakes, that comes with years and years of doing it. I mean, Erica could show you, or Shaheen could I'd probably get you with Erica a little bit. I mean, once they show you, it's what it is.
Right.
And you might want to get a couple of cakes. And you can always Publix can sell you buttercream. You can take it home and work on icing. I can show you. You can go to Walmart and get the tips to work on. They sell decorating. I think they're like they go $15 to like $45, but for like $20 you can get all the tips you would need.
Yeah.
If you like decorating anyway, then you would have it. But I mean, there's different tips for the different lace. I mean, the different fine work,
different fine work,
different tips for there's daisies, there's mums, there's grass tips, there's all sorts of stuff. And you could, I mean, if I was doing a class project, I would probably get the cake. I would probably bake my own cake.
Yeah, well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do, I think, what is it gonna be? A square, round, square, and then round on top, like a wedding cake.
So what I would do is just buy a cake from us and go home and trash it. And when I say that, you can get the turntable that we have here. You can buy those at Walmart too. I don't know how much they are.
Yeah, but we're just gonna get all this stuff on like eBay or Craigslist.
Yeah, just get the cheapest ones. Even if they're rusted out, just don't eat it if they're rusted. But they're very inexpensive for the most part. And I would just ice a cake, scrape it down, ice the cake. I'd use the same icing over and over and over. It's going to get crummy, it's going to get nasty, and then when it's just too unbearable, I'd throw it out. That's the way you do it. You go.
Okay.
So that's what I would do. And even if you made that part of your class project, this is where I started and this is where I ended up. So,
yeah.
What's your class project about?
Learning how to decorate cakes.
Learning how to decorate cakes. Well, that's what I would do. Is you can make one. The ones you make at home, people make them at home and they cool them and then they ice them. But if you're going to use real buttercream and not the stuff you get out of you need to freeze your cake first.
Freeze it.
And then you need to crumb it, which means, you know how when you bake it gets it's the stuff that everybody likes the best.
The crust?
gummy stuff.
Yeah, on top.
Scrape that off. You can throw it to the side and eat it later. Scrape it down, and then just ice it.
Like we did that. We cut the top and then cut the bottom off.
That cake was
And you're gonna just you have to do it over and over and over and over again. And then you need to make roses and get wax paper, and then just you make a little dollop. You take scissors. That's what we get the roses off.
Oh, really?
And you have a nail. And if they don't have a nail, I'll get you a nail. Do like a dollop. But
Yeah, is it like a disc with a...
I'll show you what it is.